Hi, I'm Harris Harrington of Depersonalizationrecovery.com. The topic of this video is the question, what does depersonalization disorder feel like? Depersonalization disorder is a dissociative disorder where the two primary symptoms are DP, or depersonalization, where you feel cut off from yourself, and derealization, where you feel cut off from the environment. Now, I had this disorder for years, and many people think of it as an out-of-body experience. They say that it's just an out-of-body experience. And in many ways, people with depersonalization don't feel like they're in their bodies. When I had it, I just didn't feel like I was in control. You feel like an automaton. You don't feel like you're moving the hand that's in front of you. And you don't feel like you're thinking your own thoughts. When you look at people, they kind of don't have that emotional feel to them. You don't look at a person and think that they're feeling anything. They might look like a robot. When you touch something, you feel derealization, which is, many people say, is unreality. I like to call it an altered sense of reality, not unreality, because you can still sense everything. You still have all the senses. But when you touch something, it's almost like you're located deeper inside of your skin than just when you touch something. So if you touch, just rubbing your hands together, you would feel like they're not really touching almost. And when you look at things, they almost look two-dimensional, like very flat. Things don't feel full. They don't feel like a three-dimensional world you're in. And you also feel like kind of like you're watching a movie. It just seems like there's sort of a pane of glass between you and everything, like you're in sort of a bubble. And you might just be frightened by existence. Another thing that people kind of feel is they just start thinking thoughts that they can't get out of their head. They start thinking, do I have free will? I mean, am I in control of my emotions? When I decide to go somewhere, am I really deciding? Is it just a random nerve firing off in my brain? Or am I truly deciding things? Do I have a soul? What does that even mean? What is consciousness? And you just feel numb. Numbness is just a big feeling in DP. And so derealization and depersonalization kind of go together. They mix. Each person has a different, unique kind of DP profile. And it also mixes with different obsessions. So people are just obsessed about things. They might ruminate about God. They might ruminate about emptiness and think that all matter is empty. And they might ruminate about what is time and what's infinity. And so it's really these emotions of just being cut off from yourself, from the outside world, from other people. And it's also thoughts that kind of keep the feelings going. And people experience all kinds of things too that I didn't really experience much of. There's when you look at things, they might appear bigger than they actually are, or smaller. So your sense of scale is totally distorted. And you might not feel like you're really breathing. Sometimes people have very strange bodily sensations, like they just don't feel like they're breathing. Or, their limbs just feel completely and totally numb. Their face feels numb. And so that's really kind of the core of depersonalization. It's a dissociative disorder, but it's highly interrelated with anxiety. And people oftentimes have panic attacks. And it's really kind of based around the feeling of losing control and being numb to the external world. So I hope that video kind of helps you get inside the mind of someone that has DP. And a lot of people watching this might just be trying to figure out what exactly depersonalization disorder is. Because if you've never experienced it, it's almost impossible to describe. It really is. It's impossible to describe an out-of-body kind of experience, not feeling like in your body, if you've never experienced it. But the symptom of depersonalization, the short-term symptom, is experienced by a lot of people. Sometimes when you're traveling to a foreign place, you might feel like, wow, I just don't feel real. If you go to Hawaii or if you go somewhere tropical, you might think, wow, I almost feel like I'm not here. A lot of people experience that while on vacation. And I think that really sums up derealization pretty well. But depersonalization is also a common symptom of panic attacks. If you just have a crazy panic attack, you might just feel fuzzy. Things might just seem you might just have a feeling of distance between things because your mind is numbing yourself to these emotions. It's numbing yourself when you're having high stress. But for people with panic disorder and anxiety, it goes away after an hour or two or a few days. But with chronic depersonalization disorder, or DPD, you feel it oftentimes for years. Sometimes people never get rid of it. And I've got a 10-hour program on how to get completely over depersonalization. I suffered with it for a number of years. I've got a website, and I go into all the symptoms, but I go in, more importantly, to how to get rid of the feelings. So if you're feeling these things, maybe you smoked marijuana and got it, maybe you took a drug, maybe you just were stressed out, maybe you've had it since childhood, but I show you how to get over it no matter what caused it. And I highly recommend go to depersonalizationrecovery.com, check out my program, the Total Integration Method. Hope this video helped. Subscribe. Many videos are coming, and take care.